without an effort, cleft them and turned them aside. Ravana's arrows were as ineffectual as are always the ambitions of wicked hearts. Then he smote Ravana's charioteer with 100 arrows, and he fell to the ground, crying, "Victory to Ram!" So Ram in his mercy raised the charioteer again. But then the Lord was seized with overwhelming fury. Furious was Raghupati in the fight against the foe. His arrows fidgeted in the quiver. At the fearful twanging of his bow, the man-eating monsters fell back in dismay. Mandodari trembled. The sea, the tortoise, earth and the hills were afraid. The elephants of the quarters clutched earth with their jaws and trumpeted. The gods laughed to see the sport. He drew his bowstring to his ear and shot forth his keen arrows. Forth flew a volley of Ram's shafts, quivering like serpents. The shafts flew forth like winged serpents, and first of all they slew the charioteer and the horses. They shattered the chariot and struck down the banners and the flags. Ravana roared, but inwardly his strength failed him. At once he mounted another chariot, gnashing his teeth in fury. All manner of weapons he let fly, but all his efforts were unavailing, like the thoughts of a man who delights in harming others. Then Ravana hurled 10 pikes. He struck the 4 horses and felled them to the ground. But the Raghunayak, in a rage, raised up his horses. He drew his bow and sent forth his arrows. Raghubir's arrows flew at Ravana's heads in swarms, like bees that haunt a lotus bed. 10 arrows struck each head. I think Ramakrishna wants to take a turn. Do you want to read for a little while? Huh? Would you like? They pierced them through and through, and streams of blood came flowing. On rushed the mighty demon with blood streaming down. Again the Lord fitted an arrow to his bow. 30 arrows Raghubir shot and struck his heads and arms to the ground. But soon as ever he cut them off, they grew afresh.
Every head is cut off, they come up again.
Then once more Ram robbed him of his arms and heads. Many times did the Lord destroy his arms and heads. But when they were severed, at once new ones sprang up again. Again and yet again the Lord cut off his arms and heads. Very sportive is the Lord of Kosala. The demon's arms and heads covered the heavens like Ketus and Rahu without number. Like many a Rahu and Ketu, they rushed along the path of the sky while blood streamed down, and Raghubir's dread arrows so struck them that they could not fall to the earth. Each pierced by an arrow, the throng of heads flew through the sky, looking as though the rays of a wrathful sun had everywhere threaded Rahus on a string. As often as the Lord shore off his heads, so often they sprang up innumerable, as new lusts ever grow apace when a man serves sensual ends. When the 10-headed saw his heads thus multiplied, he paid no heed to death.
Very great simile he gave. New desire. You overcome one, a new head is up. It simply said the whole story bar why if you meditate that one you conquer, a new powerful head is ready.
The arrogant fool rushed on with a roar and drew his 10 bows. On the field of battle the 10-headed raged. He let fly a shower of arrows that so covered Raghupati's chariot that for a moment it disappeared from sight like the sun hidden in a mist. When the gods were alarmed, the Lord angrily grasped his bow, warded off the arrows, and cut off his enemies' heads. They covered every quarter of the earth and sky. The severed heads rushed along the path of the heavens, causing a fright with cries of, "Victory! Victory! Where are Lakshman and Sugriva, the monkey king? Where is Raghubir, the king of Kosala? Where is Ram?" cried the throng of heads as they rushed about. The monkeys saw them and fled. Making ready his bow, the jewel of the house of Raghu laughed. and with his arrows well and That's why you've escaped so far, you villain, but now death is at your door. You fool, do you expect to prosper in a quarrel with Ram? So saying, he struck him full in the breast with his club. Smitten on the breast by the hard, dread stroke of the club, he fell to the ground with his 10 heads streaming with blood. Then recovering, he ran furiously to the attack. The two mighty combatants closed and wrestled, each striking the other, proud in the strength of Raghuveer, Vibhishan caring not one whit for his enemy. This is the two brothers now.
Two brothers.
Oh, Uma, how could Vibhishan ever
Always
dare?
fighting takes place psychologically among brothers. Sat, Raj, Tam. The mind begins to fight against mind. Who is telling it is not good? That is also mind. One part of mind wants to do. Other part of mind telling nonsense, you should have not done this. See the fighting in the mind. One part does, other part create guilt consciousness that this is not good for you. The brothers fighting.
Oh, Uma, how could Vibhishan ever dare to challenge Ravana face to face? It was in the power of the Lord Raghuveer that now he fought with him like death himself. When Hanuman saw that Vibhishan was utterly exhausted, he rushed forward with a mountain in his hand. He overthrew the chariot with its horses and its charioteer, and kicked Ravana on the chest. The demon stood his ground, but trembled all over. Vibhishan returned to the savior of his servants. Then Ravana struck the monkey with a shout of defiance, and the monkey spread his tail and ascended to the sky. Ravana grasped his tail, but the monkey flew on, carrying him with him. Then the mighty Hanuman turned and grappled with him. There in the sky they fought, warriors equally matched, smiting each other in fury. As they employed all their force and wiles in the upper air, it looked as though Sumeru was clashing with a mountain of soot. When the demon would not be cast down either by force or stratagem, the son of the wind thought on his lord. Fixing his thoughts on the Lord Raghuveer, the resolute monkey shouted defiance and smote Ravana. He fell to the ground, got up again and fought, and the gods cried, "Victory, victory," to both. Seeing that Hanuman was in difficulties, the monkeys and bears came furiously on. But Ravana, drunk with the lust of conflict, crushed all their warriors with the might of his formidable arms. Then, incited by Raghuveer, the monkeys rushed dauntlessly on, and when he saw their overwhelming force, the demon put forth his magic power. For a moment the villain made himself invisible, then appeared again in a multitude of forms. On all sides were manifest as many Ravanas as there were bears and monkeys in Raghupati's army. The monkeys saw an infinite number of Ravanas, and they and the bears fled in all directions. Their courage failed, and as they fled they cried, "Save us! Save us, Lakshman and Raghuveer."
Okay, you can put this. I know something. One Ravan was enough, now they became many. Nityadvaya-khandachidekarupo बुद्ध्यादिसाक्षी सदसद्विलक्षणः अहं पदप्रत्ययलक्षितार्थम् अहं पदप्रत्ययलक्षितार्थम् No, there is no ah. Aham pada pratyalakshitartham. this A, the opposite pada. That's right. Aham pada pratyaya lakshitartham pratyek sadananda ghana paratmam nityadvayakhanda chideka-rupam buddhyadi-sakshi sadasad-vilakshanam aham pada-pratyaya lakshitartham pratyek sadananda ghana paratmam nitya. This consciousness is the only thing which is standing in us without any motion and change. Nitya. Experience in us, what is that which is without change in you? Hairs are changing, nails are changing, bodies are changing, thoughts are changing, ideas are changing, friends are changing, enemies are changing. But something in you there is absolutely unchanging. And that unchanging also is Advaita, means non-dual. Non-dual. Akhand, unbroken. Other things are changing and broken into pieces. They seem like joined together. Chit, and it is in the form of cognition. Ek-rupa, it remains the same. It is not only non-dual in us, but it is only one in everybody. God or not to is one. No matter whatever religion you have, it makes no difference, and every religion admitted that God is one. Everybody has admitted, whether you are Christian, Mohammedan or Hindu, God is one. If that is the case, then why that oneness should not be experienced, and why we should fight together. Buddhyadi sakshi. Oh my goodness, he may hit somebody. Now he's taking part of Hanuman, monkey. Buddhyadi sakshi, it is a witness of all activities. But it is so powerful witness and interested in us. It is interested faithfully in our life. It wants to watch everything. Because without it there will be no life, so it has no choice. Because it is omnipresent, so it has no privacy. It has to stand there sorry, whether you like it or not. It has to watch everything what you do. But it has taken one vow that it will exist like non-existence, without disturbing your any private life. But it has to know everything. But your knowing everything, it will not take anything on his head. Sad asad vilakshana, and it is always different from relative existence and different from relative non-existence both. Neither you can tell in relative sense God exists. It is absolutely wrong. Because if he exists, then he must be the victim of death also in growth. Neither it is non-existence. It is neither existence, non-existence the way we know. Its existence is entirely different way. It is pure existence. And we are involved in the manifestation of existence. We don't know what existence is. Aham pradaya pada pratyaya lakshita. Its if name can be given, if any, then it will be I am. No other name is fit. All names are temporary, according to time and space. If any name is fit, then it is I. That's all. No other name. Pratyak Sadananda. Pratyak Sada Ananda Ghana. It is always cloud of bliss. And it is Paratma, Supreme Self. Has nothing to do with our miserable state in life, although it remains there. Nityadvaya chideka rupo buddhyadi sakshi sadasan vilakshanam aham pada pratyaya lakshitartham pratyak sadananda ghana paratmam. What we will use of knowing this type of energy? Okay, meaning you will be evaporated in it. Finish. You will not exist in a miserable state. You will be like that. That is enjoyment. Otherwise there is misery. You cannot avoid it. Okay?
The Supreme Self is ever of the nature of eternal, indivisible knowledge, one without a second, the witness of the Buddhi and the rest, distinct from the gross and subtle, the implied meaning of the term and idea I, the embodiment of inward eternal bliss.
Itham vipasche sadasan vibhajyam
Itham vipasche sadasan vibhajyam
Nishchite tattvam nija bodha drishtya Nishchite tattvam nija bodha drishtya Gyatva sumatmanam akhanda bodham Tebhyo vimuktva swayameva samyati. Itham, this way vipaschit, the wise man, sat asat vibhajya, in this relative world has to deal like a dual world. And sat asat vibhajya, separating himself from this garbage, which is the matter covering body, that I am not this. Directly feel it. It is not intellectual knowledge, feeling. Itham vipaschit, that way wise man, sat asat vibhajya, separating the Atman from the body, mind and senses. Nishchitte tattvam, and realizing the sickness, birth and death, they belong to body. Birth and death belong to body, not to me. Neither I am born, nor I am growing in any way, nor I will have any experience. These all experiences, hallucination or whatever they are, true or false, they belong to body, mind and sense. My experience is existence pure, which is root cause of everything and not attached with everything. Nishchitte tattvam nija bodha drishtya, directly by experience, not by any book. I am eternal or not, let me experience. Gyatva swam atmanam, experiencing his own self as omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. You are not going to become a theist by that. You are going to become supra-theist. That then you love God more. You realize that my other form is God. It is not by worshipping God you are not obliging Him. By eating some food, do you oblige yourself? Nothing. You have to eat, there is no choice. You cannot oblige that I am obliging, I am eating. No. So by worshipping God, no obligation. Because it is your own form. You have to worship, there is no choice. There is no choice. Religion has a choice. You worship or you don't worship. Here there is no question. You have to worship. Once you understand, it gets meaning. Not understand it, you don't get meaning. Everybody is worshipping God. Believe me. Whatever you like, that you worship God. You want to give lecture? Okay, go ahead. Akhanda bodham. Akhanda bodham, one bodh cognition. He is giving gift to his grandmother.
I'm taking it.
He's the Indian giver. Tebhya vimukta. Tebhya vimukta. Free from that. Swameva samyati. The man becomes absolutely. You do not obtain peace. You realize your own peace and eternity. You don't need to request anybody, angel in spirit, please make me happy. No. You give your happiness to them. Please carry on my happiness. It is too much here. Abundance. Okay?
The wise man, discriminating thus the real and the unreal, ascertaining the truth through his illuminative insight and realizing his own self, which is knowledge absolute, gets rid of the obstructions and directly attains peace.
Ajnana hradaya granthe, ajnana hradaya granthe, nishesha vilayastada. Ajnana hradaya granthe, nishesha vilayastada. Ajnana hradaya granthe, nishesha nilay vilayastada. Samadhina vikalpena, yada advaita atmadarshanam, ajnana hradaya granthe, nishesha vilayastada. In that state, ajnana hridaya granthe, this clouding over consciousness, this eclipse disappears. Ajnana, this ignorance is the eclipse. Eclipse is our shadow, our own. Our own mind, like a moon, and goes before the sun, it creates eclipse over the sun. Ajnana hridaya granthe. But moon cannot create eclipse on the sun as long as it has any phase left. Eclipse will be always on, of the sun on, Amavasya. Not on any date, impossible. It cannot be. Eclipse of the sun is scheduled on Amavasya alone, not any other date, impossible. Because any day moon is shining, that reflecting that much light of the sun. When moon does not reflect any light, it will stop the total sun. That's the beauty. So as long as any knowledge is reflecting from the moon, there is no eclipse. No doubt there is no complete knowledge. Samadhina avikal. By means of that samadhi where there is no vikalpa. Vikalpa means doubt. You got a vision, now you have doubt what it was. That's not samadhi. Avikalpena samadhina, that samadhi which is not vikalpa. No doubt you don't have all the time, but you can have any time when you like. But other samadhi comes by means of some drugs or many things. They come and disappear, you cannot have. To have that, you should have the same dose or more dose of that. So there is a vikal. Here that samadhi which you have experienced through meditation, although you don't live in that samadhi all the time, but there is no vikal. Then any time you are ready to experience at least the same flow of life. If not more, then not less either. So avikalpena samadhina, by that samadhi which has no vikalp, means it is fixed there, you have. Yada Advaita Atmadasanam, in that time you experience definitely that omnipresence, omniscience and omnipotence light. Now you can live still in your cage if you like, no harm. You don't care now anymore. God, this is your choice, I like to live here, what the harm? Because any time you are tired, you close the world and open new button. Just like television, you are sure you open that time, that channel is operating. You don't want to see, put it off, but it is there all the time. In the same way, this experience which you have, you may close it, why not? Omnipotence means you can do anything. Can God is omnipotence, can he kill himself? Yes, he has killed himself, that's sitting here. He killed Godhood sitting in Jiva. Why not? It is omnipotence, there it can do anything. It can kill himself. He killed himself sitting now, Mr. and Miss so-and-so. Don't you think God killed himself in form of us? Because he can do anything. Therefore it can kill death also. And again back to Godhood. It can do all things. Atma Darsana. It can experience its Godhood. Okay, that is the beauty. And that is possible when man entered into Samadhi. That is the nature of Samadhi. Ajnana hridaya granthi nishesha vilaya stada samadhina vikalpena yada Advaita Atmadarshanam. You will not experience such a Atma. There is not such a thing as your Atma. There is not such a thing as your intelligence either. When you experience true form of intelligence, you realize, funny thing, it is everybody's intelligence. It is not my intelligence. There is no such thing as my intelligence. Intelligence is one. As air is one, not two air, type of air. Same air you take, same I take. Although bodies are different. This is ignorance. So intelligence is one. It is not your intelligence. The moment you tell your intelligence, you cannot use that word in future. No. Intelligence, that's all. Therefore, such intelligence cannot be victim of time and space, cause and effect. That is the only difference between intelligence and mind. Mind is the product of, mind means our mind, not cosmic. Cosmic mind and intelligence are the same. These are just play of words. But our mind, which is percolating through the brain, and that mind is the victim of time and space and cause and effect. What is the relation between such a mind and intelligence? What can be relation? Nothing. What is the relation between this tiny light and the sun? Nothing, not at all, because it does not exist. It is the vibration of the same sun. Otherwise it has no existence. Relation is always in two things. But still, relatively there is a relation. Because the time is the victim, mind is the victim of time and space and cause and effect. Intelligence is not. It is beyond. It is in the same way in the past, same way in the future, same way in the present. After 1 billion years, when you will get liberated, you will find the same intelligence which you get today. So why not to get it today? Why to postpone it? And there will be no liberation without it either. Then what will be relation with that intelligence in mind again? Will this mind disappear completely? Okay, no, it will be needed. If it disappears, then you will not be able to speak English. You will not speak any language, you will be dumb. Because God does not speak English. He does not speak any language. Does he speak Sanskrit? He does not speak that either. Why should he speak Sanskrit? His language is the science of vibration. Vibration. Through vibration he speaks, not through any language. We are teaching Sanskrit not as a part of language, other part, more important, the science of vibration, grammar. It's not interested in any word, any letter. It's interested in vibration. What vibration means to us. And once you experience that, then again what will be after all? The mind will be there. Will you be without mind? Yes, mind will be there. Then what will be the relation? Like the clock and the needle, handle, that relation. The handles are indicating this is the time. But if you take handle, there is a time, that's all. There is no division. If you take the only clock, there is a time. But there is no division. You cannot know what time is. It is just time, all the time. There is no time when there is no time. But it is 12 o'clock. Okay, that is your division. When it is 12 o'clock in San Francisco night, then 12 o'clock in India day. Is it the same 12 o'clock? Then other country might be rising sun, morning. So what you can do? When 12 o'clock is New York, in Hawaii, there is rising sun, early morning, 6 hour difference. Do you mean that time? That time has any meaning? That time is a practical value. Besides that, it has no meaning. Every day is Sunday in the sunlight. The Wednesday, Tuesday, this is your division for your practical purpose. When you live, suppose you live around the sun, how will you know what day is today? Just you can tell there is a day. You cannot tell what is the day. Not only there, on earth also, if you look in one place in Norway area when there is 6 months day, and all the time there is a day, how will you tell what day is? This will be imagination. You have to get news from telephone, from other part, what is the day. Because there is only one day. 6 months, one day on earth. And 6 months night in that little area on earth. So what is the value of those days? How will you know? And there will be imaginary line there. Because there is only one day. It lasts 6 months. You should go and see the lovely place. You will be tired within few days. So that darshan. And this mind gives its own beauty. It tells what time is. Although its report is absolutely false, but it is practical. If you do not know that time relative, you will miss your train, aeroplane. That is important from practical point of view. So that will tell you the history of the universe evolution. What does it mean? Although it is useless, but it is. The flower is shining very beautiful, and when they become dry, rub them. Calcium, potassium, sodium, few salts are there, there is nothing. But it was necessary how those salts became the shining flower. You cannot do that. That is the beauty. Although it was nothing, but there is a beauty. So this mind will tell you the history of this our evolutionary universe. That it is, at the same time, it is not. Because it is coming out of those few elements which you can purchase in market for few cents. A scientist wrote history that if human body you take and burn it, analyze it, then it will not be more than few cents element. Calcium, potassium, sulfur, very little. Not worthwhile. If you go to chemist, he can give you free, take it. You will ask how much, this is no, what to charge. Okay, that body. But you can take the Himalaya like the salt and you cannot change them into body. That history mind will tell you. Mind had its own place. But that also mind will tell you because the intelligence, the power of intelligence is vibrating in the mind. Mind does not exist independently. Ajnanam hridaya granthir Nishesha vilayastada Samadhina vikalpena Yada Advaita Atmadarshanam. You enjoy the world of evolution and you are free from pain and pleasure. Because you do not know what this misery is. You are free from all trouble. Living still in the same body, same house, but it does not bother it all. Okay?
When the Atman, the one without a second, is realized by means of the nirvikalpa samadhi, then the heart's knot of ignorance is totally destroyed.
Tvam aham idam
Tvam aham idam
itiyam
itiyam
Tvam aham idam itiyam
Tvam aham idam itiyam
Kalpana buddhi dosha Prabhavati Paramatman Yadvaye Nirvisheshe Pravilasati Samadhau Asya Sarvo Vikalpo Vilayanam upagacchen vastu tattva-avadhrityam tumahamidamityam kalpana buddhi dosham tumahamidamityam kalpana buddhi dosham prabhavati paramatmyam advaye nirvisheshe pravilasati samadha vasya sarvo vikalpo vilayanamupagachin vastu tattva-avadhrityam tumahamidamityam kalpana buddhi dosham tumahamidamityam kalpana buddhi dosham prabhavati paramatman advaye nirvisheshe prabhavati paramatman advaye nirvisheshe pravilasati samadha vasya sarvo vikalpo vasya sarvo vikalpo vilayanamupagached vastu tattva-avadhritya vilayanamupagached vastu tattva-avadhritya. Correct it. What you want to do? Pravilasate prahavati paramatman yadvaye. That's right. Nirvishesh. That's correct. Vada tvam aham idam. Tvam aham, aham and idam. He, she and it. He, she and it. They all are relative words which has no meaning, except practical purpose. I tell you, you, and you tell me, you. I tell myself, I, you tell yourself, I. So this is exchangeable words. Where is I such a thing? Where is you reserved? This relative I and you are exchangeable. There is no such a thing as I, nor such a thing as you. Neither there is I, nor there is you, nor there is idam. One thing is dividing into many forms. That was the anatmavad of Buddhism. Buddha criticized there is not such a thing as Atman. Hallucination people have in their mind, which you take truly very correct. When he criticizing there is not such a thing as soul, he means that's individual. It is the ego, soul is only one. Where is your soul and my soul and somebody's soul? Are there many souls? So everybody has a soul. Nobody has soul because there is not such a thing as soul. It is ego. Soul is one. It is neither I nor you nor it. Nothing. It is all vibration over oneself. And that is called, Shankaracharya called it, God is reality, everything is unreal. Buddha called it Nibbana. Shankara presents that God is ultimate reality. Other than God, everything is false. And Jivatman is nothing but God himself. Yourself is not soul, and it is not isolated. Yourself is identical absolutely with that God. If you understand separate, you will be a miserable creature, because there is no happiness for you. You are living on hallucinations. Tvam aham edam iti iyam kalpana. It is imagination, fantasy and concept. Buddhi dosat. It is due to defective outlook. Buddhi dos. It is mistake in wisdom. Wrong wisdom. How it is happening, but there is nobody then why I feel I can know. Feeling is correct. Name I is wrong. I also is correct. Isolating from you my I and your I, that is absolutely wrong. I is one. I am Alpha and Omega. That is the final statement of Bible, absolutely correct. I am Alpha and Omega. I is only one, it is beginning till end everything. So how it can be divided into I and you and she and it? Then it cannot be Alpha and Omega. I am Alpha and Omega, means it is everything. Then it cannot be isolated, divided. This I and you and she and it, these are not Alpha and Omega, these are the forms of ego. And ego is separate in ego. Limited vibration of absolute I through this limited brain is ego. Because the brain allows only that much rays which is traditionally accepted. Therefore, whole meditation is nothing to break down these resistance and inhibitions and traditions. Because we became the victim of traditions. They were good sometime, but now they are not good. The dress was very good. The shoes were very good when you were a child. But if you keep your foot in the same shoes, they will not grow. You need to change it. See, the plant grows, and there is a time when you have the same container, it will not go further. You have to change container. Otherwise, there will be death of plant. So are these traditions and these customs and religions which have given us life, they were very lovely sometimes. We need them. Now you need to change the container. It does not mean you have to hate anybody. No. They have their purpose. Why not? They are very fit for those who need. The same container is very lovely for another tiny plant. Leave it there. But it's not good for a higher plant. That's the only thing. Soap is very good to clean your dress. But get rid of it by rinsing it. Religions are very lovely. Cult and sect, who knows, in future there might be another religion very lovely to help mankind. But still it will remain religion. It will not be God. Once you experience God, you've gone beyond everything. It does not mean you have to criticize, leave that for those. You passed high school, you become PhD. It does not mean high school for you useless, but it is important for others. Others are going there. So, Tvam aham edam. It iyam kalpana. This division is practical, not real. What is the meaning of practical and real? Practically you call this jar, but reality it is not jar. It is a collection of atoms and molecules. See, scientists don't call it jar. They call three particles creating total universe, electron, proton, neutron. But practically they admit it is jar. You cannot deny. When you need to drink water, you search a jar, you don't search atoms and molecules, nothing. You cannot drink oxygen and hydrogen separate. When they meet together, become water that you drink, practical. But when you are working through the body, it is to drink this water. When you again soul, you don't need to drink this water. Why to drink that? You don't need to drink that water, neither need to eat it. Tvam aham edam. It iyam kalpana buddhi dosat. It vilayanam upagachet vastu tattva avadhatya. Vilayanam upagachet vastu tattva avadhatya. Okay?
Such imaginations as thou, I, or this take place through the defects of the buddhi. But when the Paramatman, the Absolute, the one without a second, manifests itself in samadhi, All such imaginations are dissolved for the aspirant through the realization of the truth of Brahman.
5, 8, 1. Okay, take the story of the demon. There is standing.